Hi, I'm John White, Field Sales Representative for Bear Crop Science in Southwest Missouri.
And I'm Ben Beasing, Technology Development Representative here in Western Missouri and Eastern Kansas.
Today we're here at Bear Crop Science's Rich Hill testing site, and standing behind us is one of our DEKALB market development plots. So it's a traditional market development plot ranging from 100 to 115 day hybrids. This is a non-irrigated test, but I'll tell you, with the use of our Bayer's new digital platform, Climate FieldView, this allows us to dive much deeper into each individual product than what we ever have in the past. And so, Ben, if you don't mind, explain a little more about this test and what it does beyond just the individual product testing.
Sure, absolutely, John. So I know you made mention there of Climate FieldView and all the research we do on this site. We manage through Climate FieldView from planting to harvest, and within that, we're capturing all of our data as we put it in the ground or harvest it and make applications as we have in this. I'll get to in a minute. It's been a great tool for us in managing the research we're doing here and utilizing it in that aspect. So a little bit about this traditional trial, kind of what we've done with this. All this research we're doing, we get some specialized equipment to do some different treatments and whatnot. One of those we got was a high clearance ground sprayer where we can go over the top of tasseled corn and make fungicide applications. So that's what we've done here. We've actually broke this trial into, and it's approximately 11 acres. We broke it into 4 replications within this, with 2 being sprayed or treated with fungicide and two left untreated. So we applied our new fungicide coming down the pipeline, which is an extension of Delaro, the dual mode broad spectrum fungicide that many of you know and are applying on your farm. But what we've done with that new fungicide coming is we've added an additional mode of action with that group 7 chemistry. And so what we've done is we sprayed 2 of the replications with that about a week or 10 days ago and left 2 untreated. So at the end of the year, when we're rolling through with the combine, what that does is it not only gives us the ability to evaluate your products and how they're doing relative to each other and local competitors, but have a deeper understanding of how each individual product is responding to that fungicide application. And at the end of the year, that's a neat concept that we're extracting multiple valuable things from a trial like this.
Ben, that's really cool. I'm excited about this trial because we had a trial very similar to this just in the next block over to the east last year. What we found as a collective test plot is we saw about a 21 bushel advantage by using Delaro at tasseling versus the untreated check. Now, even more when we looked at and took an in-depth look at each individual product, we saw product ranges in performance anywhere from no response all the way to an excess of 45 bushel to the acre. And so when you think about that in your farming operation, it's very critical to make sure you understand, how susceptible a product is to diseases and what products that we can apply to help that product to achieve its maximum yield potential on your farm. This test absolutely does that. It doesn't just look at the collective of how much the herbicide does on the field, but what it does on each individual product. So if things change, we don't get the exact product that we wanted for that farm, or we had to replant, we now have the tools and the information by utilizing Climate FieldView and also our field region reports within Climate FieldView to be able to really dial in on each individual product.
Well, and you mentioned last year's results, and that's kind of the exciting thing about this when we think about last year, John, and wet. That trial, I think the average on that trial was over 200 bushels, and you and I know here in Southwest Missouri that's kind of a rarity. Much different story this year, how we've lined up. We started out really wet, and then we've hit a dry spell here, within the last month or a little over. So that's the unique thing with these sites being out here, very localized, and year after year we can test that environment and the different, the different microenvironments that we get each year. And kind of back to this, prior to our application, I would have gave this a low disease rating as far as what diseases were in this field and how severe they were. But when we think about fungicide, obviously that's a big piece of it, protecting this plant from diseases and so on. But it's also helping this plant through some of these stresses that we get here in Southwest Missouri very often. So we went ahead and did it, and like I said, at the end of the year we'll have a completely unique scenario compared to last year that we're testing some of the same hybrids in. And another exciting piece of this is just a couple miles over here up the road, we have some late PCM material, corn, or late breeding material that is not commercialized yet, where we have it in a smaller format, but it's a replicated trial where we've done some of the same things, where we're getting an early look at these hybrids to come in this environment, and also tying in some of these management pieces in that with the fungicide over them, and diving deeper into these products so we can come to you upon commercialization with more information for you to help you place these in the right acre and under the right local recommendations.
Well, Ben, I tell you, that's really critical because, as a seller and as a grower, a lot of times one of our limiting factors to success on a brand new product is just lack of knowledge. And so the more knowledge we're going to be able to bring on each individual brand new product as it enters the market as a commercial product, the faster we can utilize that product on more acres. And so thank you for doing that. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. In the end goal, we're hoping to bring these products to the farm and maximize that farmer's yield and ROI on his farm. So the more we can do to prepare us for that, the better we are.
Well, we appreciate all the hard work you put into this testing site, Ben. And from all of us out here, we appreciate you tuning in today. Check back for more updates and more product videos. We've got training videos from this site. We also have different product as far as DEKALB line videos with using climate as far as response to population on high management irrigation. We also have response to irrigation where we have dryland corners planted into irrigated at different populations. So a lot of cool stuff coming this summer, and we really appreciate you watching today.